I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. She congratulated us, it's about us, on our victory. And I congratulated her and her family on a very, very hard-fought campaign. I mean, she fought very hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of our election special. Coach Lyken.
Good to meet you, sir.
I thought you would have gone to Trump now by the time. I'm glad you stayed and didn't run over to the United States.
Go get a position, right?
Listen, one of the things which was very interesting about the whole thing is that President-elect Trump, first British visitor or meeting was with Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
What's going on there? What's going on?
You know, some things are some things you can't find an explanation for them. I guess you just got to watch and see. But I think Nigel played a pivotal role in advising the president-elect.
Yeah, on some key rhetorics.
Yeah, and Nigel played a pivotal role there in doing that, and it was good to see that. I mean, I don't know what happened to Theresa May, but I know a lot of British politicians like the mayor and Mr. Sadiq Khan and Mr. Boris Johnson.
Well, toning down their rhetoric.
They all have to eat their words now.
Yes.
You know, they all have to eat their words now.
They say it was. They said it was bunkers.
It's funny when Trump talked about immigration and how the media twisted all the things he said, and there's a clip with Bill Clinton in 1996 State of the Union address was actually saying the same things that Donald Trump was saying.
Except about the wall.
Except the wall. And that was not a problem. He's still America's popular, what they call so-called first black president.
Anthony, one of the things that people say about Trump and that particular speech and with Clinton was that the words that Trump used tend to be a bit very inciting at the same time, the rhetoric of how he communicated. Because it could be that Trump is saying the same thing, but how he said it actually, you talk about, people will say, somebody said to me that he said, kick out all immigrants. And I said, no, he didn't say kick out all immigrants. Where is that? I have to know they can't
Churchill,
find that.
Churchill has made a statement. He said, the appeaser is the one who feeds the crocodile and always think that he's going to be eaten last. We got too many appeasers as politicians. Too many appeasers as politicians. And it's not working. It's not working. We need to call
a spade a spade.
Radical Islam, radical Islam. We need to call a snake, a dog, a dog. You know, there's this whole political correctness of offending. Come on, needs to stop. It needs to stop. Who's being offended? When we see Muslims, you understand me, in Luton, literally cursing people out, cursing Christians out because they're out in the streets marching. Who's offending who? And our politicians are turning a blind eye. Yes, there's a place in this country where police officers, just cannot really go because there's Muslim safe haven neighborhoods. There's Sharia law that, certain politicians, welcome in this country. You understand me? Why? Why could we condone such barbaric behavior in a place that we call freedom, right? This is the United Kingdom. We come to this country and we want to better ourselves. We speak the English language. We take on the opportunities that we have here. So, why do we have to follow these people? Why do we have to appease these folks? So, it is okay for a Muslim to say something, but it's not okay for us to say anything back, because if we do, we are in the wrong. This is all political correctness.
But isn't that the same thing as what you were saying earlier when you are a supporter of Donald Trump, and when you state your views, you are also being shut down?
Precisely
by
so.
actually sharing your
Let me
views.
tell you something. Pastors were refusing to say anything. You know, people that were afraid that they were going to lose members of their congregation. No, you don't have to be afraid to lose members of your congregation. You need to inform your congregation. You need to educate your congregation as to, and let them make the decision as to who they want to vote for. Look, I'm not a Farrakhan guy, okay? Because Farrakhan has said some things that is crazy that I don't buy into. But that's Farrakhan. But I heard Farrakhan. There's a YouTube video with Farrakhan saying to his followers, how many of you in here are going to vote for Hillary? He said, put your hands up. He said, no, wait a minute. You don't have to put your hands up. He said, she is a wicked woman. So if you're going to vote for her, you better vote with knowledge. This is Louis Farrakhan saying that. He's talking to his followers. He's saying that woman do not deserve to be president of the, after the mass incarceration that her and her husband oversee. Are you going to put her in the White House? That's Louis Farrakhan talking. You see, I don't always agree with his rhetoric, but at least I can agree with that.
So therefore, what the world then and what people need to be now is, should I say, a bit more thick-skinned? Because it seems to be that
No, people.
I don't know. But
Stick a pin. People need to be able to have honest dialogue. Be honest with themselves in what comes out of their mouth. Be honest with their heart. Said, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling towards this. I had a friend on Facebook said to me, look, I don't understand this election thing. Could you explain it to me? This is somebody who was vying for the whole Hillary thing.
Yeah.
And I said, I will explain it to you. But the information I'm going to give you is not to impose or to the word I want to use is not to impose or to bring you on board as a Trump fan. No, I don't want to do that. I'm providing the information, you make the decision. So what I did, I sent her information on the candidates, what they stand for in immigration, what they stand for on abortion, what they stand for on religious freedom, what they stand for on foreign policy, what they stand for on trade. I said, look at these things, examine them carefully, and then you make an informed decision who you're going to vote for. So people need to be properly informed, not misinformed, but informed.
how will they be informed?
Well, it's shows like this, you know, people like yourself, you know, all the little underground, I call them underground networks that, you know, is not mainstream. When people look at something like this and people hear somebody like me talking, they can either do two things, shut it down or say, damn, this guy's making some sense. I need to go look at this stuff.
You know what I do? I do a lot. I listen and I watch. I watch Hillary when she was doing all her different speeches, and I watch Trump when he was doing all his different speeches. I get Democrat messages, you know, donating.
Occupy Democrat.
Yeah, well, not Occupy Democrat, the official Democrat one about donating to Hillary Clinton. I followed it from Obama time, so it's transformed into Hillary. I follow Trump with his Facebook Live as well, according with Hillary, and I listen and I watch, and deep down in my bottom of my heart, I keep saying to persons, I'm not an American, and whichever one won, I would still be saying, guys, you guys need to work together. You need to strategize. You need to come together collectively. If you got a man in there, you don't like that man, you need to put your people there. Because I believe also that a lot of black Americans, and they don't like when we say this sometimes, and they say, oh, you need to stay over your side of the pond.
Oh, I like when they say that. I say, well, it says it is my business. I say, it is my business.
Yeah.
I say, you ain't got no business. That's why you can't talk.
Yeah.
I like when black Americans, I like when they say something, oh,
Yeah.
you need to stay out of our business.
Yeah.
What business do you have? You ain't
Yeah.
got no business because
Yeah.
you don't even study some of the things you're saying.
Yes, yes.
You're talking, I said, ignorance is deadly.
Yes.
I said, because ignorance is lack of knowledge. You lack knowledge. That's why you're saying certain
Yes,
things.
yes.
Right? You lack knowledge. Listen, I've been following, I wasn't following this election just yesterday when Trump and Hillary went after each other. I was following this thing way back from Ronald Reagan coming all the way down. I was watching each candidate from Mike Dukakis, Jesse Jackson, the Elder Bush, John Kerry,
Gore.
all of them. I was looking. And then when it came to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, you know, this suddenly new guy just jumped on the world stage. And everybody was like, oh my God, we finally We finally
We have made it.
made it. History is now about to be made. Did you look at the magazine covers? The papers had him crowned president before he was even president-elect. It's the same madness they were doing with Hillary. They had her as Madam President, and they had Trump as the loser.
Actually, I believe.
So it's like when you're watching the Bilderberg operations, it's like there's a coronation that certain people need to be elected at certain time. So that this baton, this corrupt baton needs to be passed on.
Do you think that Americans have, while they love and they cherish the Queen and the dynasty in the UK, they have this thing against dynasties in the USA, the Kennedys, the Bush, the Clinton.
Yeah, I mean, that is so true. You know, it's like there's a coronation. It's like it's owed to them. And I think what Trump came and showed them, it's not owed to you. You have to earn it. And Trump earned it.
Yeah.
Trump, you see, it's a political debt to the dynasties. The Bushes did not want anything to do with the Trumps. Clintons and the Obamas didn't want anything to do with the Trumps. Do you see what happens now?
Yeah.
They're forced to. And you know, I'm not going to quote this because I want to sort of merge Trump like it. But when you look at patterns of the Bible, when you talks about David, when, you know, the Lord wanted a king, and he went and he looked at all the brothers, all the guys with all the brains. And he said, well, there's one missing. And he said, well, he's at the back looking after the sheep. And he said, well, that's the one I want. And I believe at this point in time, we need leaders who are going to serve the people. We need the government to be handed back into the people's hand. The people should have the power, not the government. The government is there to serve us, right? And I think it is unfolding now where people no longer believe the rhetoric
Of the government.
of neither party.
Yeah.
Whether it's Labor, Conservative, Lib Dems, the people are no longer, you know, people stay with party because of their own loyalty. You find in this country there are people who their grandparents were Labor, their parents become Labor, and they stay as a Labor. People are afraid to switch
move on.
because they don't. It's like the old English saying, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, just don't make too much trouble.
keep going.
Just don't cause no problem.
Go with the flow.
Because I tell you what, 99.9% of the homes that I went into did not want to talk anything about politics when I'm around, because they already knew where I stand.
But listen to this. A huge swath of the American population felt that things couldn't get any worse. They didn't want more of the same, so instead went for the candidate who would at least shake things up. Is that also what it is? I mean, the quiet persons who are not saying anything, but once they go behind that counter or that curtain, the power comes alive.
Well, look at it. You see what's happening now in America? People are being beaten up because they vote for Trump. This is exactly...
Isn't that all the way?
But hang on. Yeah. This is exactly why a lot of people weren't saying they were going to vote for Trump in the first place, because of a fear of the repercussion that was going to take place. People were fearful to express their views, especially if you are in large families or you got lots of friends. You know, the closest people to me, I disagreed with them on it.
Yes.
I was not afraid to. I was in a home where people who were very close to me, I said, I know Trump is going to win. So you're a Trump man. I said, I know President Trump. Trump is going to be the president of the United States. And I believe he's the man that is going to lead America right now. One of my close ex-Army buddies, he was like, Trump is not going to win this. I said, watch the space, he's going to win it. You know? But he was basing his prediction on the mainstream media, while I was basing my prediction on what was behind the scene, how they were actually polling, these polls that they had that was showing Clinton was up ahead and Trump was down below. Yeah. If you go back to Ronald Reagan, around the same time, Ronald Reagan was 39 and his opponent was up in the 40s.
Who was that? Who was it?
That was
Dukakis? No.
Carter.
Carter.
Yeah.
Yes, Carter. Yeah.
Yeah. Ronald Reagan, his opponent was way up, and look what happened. It was upsetting. Ronald Reagan was a cowboy. He was an actor. You know, he was a joke as far as they were concerned. So I believe every so often you have that person who's going to come in. And Trump is a builder. He's a builder. Whether they want to say he was bankrupt or whatever they want to say, builders has a way of wanting to build things. Yeah. And that's the reason why when I was looking to see who was going to be his VP, yes. That was very interesting for me. When I saw Mike Pence and I went into Mike Pence's history and
so you dig.
I said,
once you see a name, you dig.
Yes.
Because what
as soon as I see a name, bang, 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 bang.
You know, sorry, I just want to stop there. And this is what is happening also with medias and everything like that. A headline goes out there.
Yeah.
And I've seen this many times and I've proven it. You put a headline out there with an article, people comment without actually reading what it is about.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook where they talk about, oh, the Attorney General is a racist man. But they didn't go back and look at his profile, his CV from Alabama, what he has done in Alabama.
Wow.
But all of a sudden he's a racist man.
And that's the
rhetoric. But you know, what I did, I made a decision. I am not going to comment on matters that I don't want to waste my time on. I'm not going to comment on those matters. If I find somebody who wants to have a debate, a healthy debate, I will debate with that person. And I make it very clear we can disagree respectfully. I've had those people on my page. And, you know, in the end, I said, okay, you have your point. I have my point. God bless you and your family. And I hope that we will be speaking soon at some point in time. They responded back in kind, saying the same to you. And there's no, but anybody who comes on my page, via one of my friends, I often go and check their page, their profile. I want to see what their profile is all about before I respond back to them. And most of the times when I go on their profile, I see they have a lot of Occupy Democrats, they have a lot of hoax websites about Trump. And I said, oh, no. I can't have a conversation because your mind is loaded like a damn shotgun. You understand me? Your mind is loaded like a missile without a guided system. You're going to be all over me on Facebook, and I don't need that.
Yes.
Because it will be wasting my time.
Choosing your battles, if anything.
Yes, I have to choose my battles. I have to choose my battles in conversation. There's certain places I would not go and have a Trump or a political discussion.
Well, isn't that the same as certain streets you want to walk down?
Yeah.
At certain times. I mean, of course, you're a fearless guy.
Yeah, but this, you know, in terms of in politics, you know, there's certain discussion. I mean, it's like you're sitting around a table having a nice meal, and then somebody may raise the topic or say something. And I will turn and say, no, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
And the minute I say that, oh, you were a Trump man.
Yeah.
And then I just sit back and I smile.
I made some comments and I made my views very clear. And someone said, would you support someone who the KKK endorse? And I say to the person, do you think Coca-Cola knows me? Do you think some companies that I use know me? The point is, just because someone may endorse someone, that doesn't mean to say that person at the top knows them or approve of their support. So the point is that I think it's all gotten very much twisted.
So if you decide to run for prime minister in this country, and some pedophile who is well known decide to say, I like SYLBOURNE, I think he's going to make a good prime minister. Now, some media decide to pick that up and attach that pedophile to you. That makes you a pedophile.
Well, that's it. You see, that is how silly.
That's why I said ignorance is deadly. Lack of knowledge is deadly. Why don't you go find out, right? So somebody may say something years ago, but look at their track record from there on. So if you want to say that Trump did not rent to black people, minorities, look at what Trump did for black minorities in Florida. Look at what Trump was doing for 30 years in the African-American community where he received awards with Muhammad Ali and people like Rosa Parks. Go back and search those things and see where the man has, you know, make changes. Listen, we all got some prejudiceness in our bones. I grew up in a house, right, where my grandmother favored a light-skinned child over a dark-skinned child.
Yes.
So what the hell do you call that?
Yes.
What do you call that? Do you see what I'm saying? I grew up in a family of prejudiceness.
Yes.
Where, you know, my grandmother will favor one child over the other. What do you call that? Do you see what I'm saying? But, you know, we all got some sort of you know, prejudiceness in you know, it's like the story I was reading that this man who came to take over a church and he was going to be the bishop, the presiding bishop of this church. So All the other lay, deacons and everything knew about this, but the congregation didn't know who the man was. So this pastor decided to disguise himself with some rags on, look like a bum off the street. And he came through the door. Nobody wants to even sit next to him. They were so scornful of him. It's like he was a nobody as far as they're concerned. Nobody even offered him a glass of water. They didn't even offer him a seat. And when the elders on the pulpit decided they were going to call up the man who's now going to take over this massive congregation, the man got up. Well, if a hole could have opened beneath the pews, all those hypocrites would have gone down in there.
Yes.
Because we have this tendency of making judgment based on what we hear. I heard you ask people, what is the most favorite quote that they will have or they live by?
And I'm going to ask you that later.
And let me give you an answer. He that answereth a matter before knowing the truth is a fool.
So ladies and gentlemen, is that your quote?
That's right. I would not answer a matter until I understood all three sides of the matter, because like they said, a story has three sides. The left, the right, and the independent. And I want to know all three sides before I can make a judgment.
Yes.
That's why we have judges and magistrates, because they have to hear the prosecutor, they have to hear the lawyer's sides. And then they have a summation. Then they have a grand jury who's going to come. They may not always get it right, but at least we have a system in place that we can claim that, some people are able to get off, rightly or wrongly.
Well, Anthony, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the show today. And I tell you this, we'll be getting back, because this is going to go on for the next 4 years.
No, I believe in the next 8 years.
Well, 8 years or so, and we'll get other persons from a different perspective. And I think what I'll do next time is actually to get someone who's pro-Hillary, if anything like that.
As long as they don't go off on an emotional tantrum.
Yes, and get,
to spit out their dummies and start rolling over the floor and crying for sweets and all that kind of stuff. I'm fine with that. But I can look them face to face and we can debate it.
Yes.
We can debate the facts. I will bring my facts with me. You bring your facts with me, and let us have an honest debate.
We'll have a discussion.
And disagree respectfully.
Fantastic.
That is good. That is a good thing. That is a healthy. I think politics now in our world today is pushing us to a place where we can have healthy discussion.
And I think that is one of the jobs of myself, and I think that's one of the jobs of yourself.
Precisely
to actually push the boundary and actually to don't go with the flow in that respect.
That's right.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I have my personal message which I want to share. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the show, you've heard Coach Lyken, and of course, there's so much about this, but I have a message which I want to share, a message of hope. I want to end today's show with this message, which is to people here in the UK and to our cousins to our west in the US feeling unheard by the democratic process when voting outcomes are not what we hope for. While no democratic system is entirely perfect, the fact that your vote contributed to making a decision on leadership and the outcome of your country, even if it was not what you wanted, that fact alone, that your vote counted, speaks to the fairness of that very democratic process. The majority always wins. There are countries out there where people are not afforded the same opportunity. I end today's episode with another Rebecca Sunday quote. Hope is in the embrace of the unknown. For me, that means as long as our democratic processes are indeed democratic, there's always hope. Hope and opportunity. The opportunity to congregate and organize and affect actual change. The opportunity to take part and take up leadership roles and change the status quo. Because just as much as the unknown incites fear, it doesn't mean we have to remain afraid. Finally, there's a simple evidence of hope in action. With so many students walking out of school and protesting, and they are not of voting age as yet, in 4 years' time, there will be a voting age. Take some comfort, but in the meantime, strategize and organize collectively. Sir Coach Anthony Lyken. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And that was inspiring and awesome.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Welcome, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to find out more about Coach Lyken, please follow us on SYLBOURNE TV, through Instagram, on our website, sylbourne.com, and follow us as well, subscribe, like our channel. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Last night, I congratulated Donald Trump and offered to work with him on behalf of our country. I hope that he will be a successful president for all Americans. This is not the outcome we wanted or we worked so hard for, And I'm sorry that we did not win this election for the values we share and the vision we hold for our country. But I feel pride and gratitude for this wonderful campaign that we built together. This vast, diverse, creative, unruly, energized campaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I just been on the SYLBOURNE Show, and it was exciting. It was the election special we were talking about. And please do follow them on their YouTube, and more to come. Until then, good night.
Hi, thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share and like, and don't forget to comment, but first subscribe.